Since you went like summer wind, your voice no longer calls my name. The sky remains, the days go on, but I am no longer the same. Everything's still in its place, but not your warmth. The house remembers every laugh, but now my voice is lost in silence, without you here by my side. And if someone asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago, say nothing loud, just point to wind and let the silence grow. The clock still shows the hour you left. The house is empty of your scent. Wherever I went, your place remained, and still my heart beats your name. I smile at photos, though you're not here. Your voice still echoes in my ear. The poems I wrote for you lie open, still waiting for the day you return, my love. And if someone asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago, say nothing loud, just point to wind and let the silence grow. Since you went like summer wind, the pages stopped beneath my hand, and on the line where love should be, you left no word, just my name.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Steve Calloway, Steve Calloway 1 on YouTube, and we're here with another of Angelina's wonderful, beautiful, epic, fantastic, awesome, soul-touching songs from Secret of the Souls. And this one is Summer Wind. This is one that a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people talking about this one. I've listened to it many, many times. None of these are new to me. I've listened to the whole album numerous times. But what you're going to get today from me is how I feel about the song as per requested by Angelina Jordan. She asked us to write our thoughts and how we felt about it and those kind of things. And that's just what I'm going to do. So I've already done this with almost all the songs. I'm down, this is number 10 of 12. So after this, there's 2 left. And yeah, I'm happy to do it because Angelina has done so much for us. It's the least I could do. So you're going to hear it as we go through this. You're going to hear the whole song first without me talking now one word. Then we're going to go at the end. You're going to see me go through and talk about how I feel about the song, kind of commenting about the song, interpreting the lyrics the way I interpret them, that sort of thing. So why don't we go ahead and get busy? Let's go ahead and listen. You guys ready? Let's go.
you went like summer wind. Your voice no longer calls my name. The sky remains, the days go on, but I am no longer the same.
Okay, sorry for the, I don't know what you can see or not see on the screen, but yeah, since you went like summer wind, Gone with the Wind, right? An old movie way back when. Your voice no longer calls my name. So you're not there. That's why your voice no longer calls my name. The sky remains, the days go on, but I am no longer the same. Of course not. You're, instead of being one of two, you now are one of one. And yeah, it's always, there's always a, it feels like there's something missing. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if it matters whether or not you're the one that initiates this separation or whether the other person initiates it. I don't know, but it still leaves a hole because you were together, Let's move on.
Everything's still in its place, but not your warmth. The house remembers every laugh, but now my voice is lost in silence without you here by my side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, Mary with these lyrics, I'll tell you, she catches these moments and gives them words and then brings them back to life for us when we listen to them. Everything's still in its place. The person's gone, but everything else is still here. Everything. Even some of their stuff sometimes. But not your warmth. And you still feel the loss of the person not being there. The house remembers every laugh. Yep. I find it interesting, too, just on a side note, that while the lyrics express the loss of whoever this is, person, probably, and the emptiness, the loneliness that you feel when that happens. But the lyrics are always quick to remind us that the house remembers every laugh. There were good times. Remember those. And now my voice is lost in silence. Yeah, because there's nobody to talk to. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but that's what it is. I talk to my dog sometimes. They don't really understand what I'm saying, but hey, somebody to talk to, right? Without you here by my side. Yeah, I know it's a lonely feeling. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
And if someone asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago, say nothing loud, just point to wind and let the silence grow.
Okay, and if someone asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago, say nothing loud, just point to wind and let the silence grow. Interesting way to say that. Say nothing loud, so basically don't say, that's the other thing I was going to point out is usually when there's a breakup of some kind, somebody leaves, maybe it's not a breakup, they just leave, but there's usually some discussion, for lack of a better word, that goes along with that. And so say nothing loud, just point to wind. Yeah, I guess it is what it is how I look at that. And let the silence grow. Yeah, I guess you have to get used to the fact they're not there. And it seems unlikely that they'll be coming back by the sounds of things. Let's go ahead and listen on.
The clock still shows the hour you left. The house is empty of your scent. Wherever I went, your place remained, and still my heart beats your name.
Something I've neglected to do all the way up. This is number 10 song out of 12 I've done. I don't think I've mentioned this, and it's terribly wrong of me not to. There's three pieces to this: lyrics, Angelina's voice, and the music itself, the melody and the arrangement. And it actually takes those three things, I think, to make this whole. Where sometimes with a couple, sometimes it only takes two, right? But now with this, it takes three. This is a trilogy, and three is one of those magic numbers too. You know, two's not a bad number, but three is seems to have a lot more significance sometimes. But in this case, yeah, Angelina's voice is so incredibly beautiful. In this song and some of the other ones too, her voice is a little bit haunting in a way. And she touches our hearts and our souls. Many people have commented about that. And each of us is touched in a way that's personal to us based on our experiences in life. That's what I think. And we've all been in some of what the song's telling us in the lyrics is we've all been there, probably most of us, now maybe not all, but most of us. So it's familiar. So when we hear the lyrics, it's like, yeah, that's right. That's how you say that. I never really figured out how to say it. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. So the clock still shows the hour you left. Yeah, it's like time stands still for a little while, doesn't it? The house is empty of your scent. Yep, that goes away after a while. And wherever I went, your place remained. It's like the person's still there sometimes. As a matter of fact, there's times when you swear that person was just right there, but they're not. And my heart still beats your name. Yeah, that's going to go on for a while. They say time heals everything, but yeah, yes and no. It heals most things, and it takes time. But sometimes there's not enough time. You run out of time before the healing gets done, I think. Let's go ahead and move on.
I smile at photos, though you're not here. Your voice still echoes in my ear. The poems I wrote for you lie open, still waiting for the day you return, my love. And if someone...
Oops, sorry, went a little too far. I smile at the photos, though you're not here. We've all been there. We've all done that. We all got photos. Nowadays, if you have them all on your phone, you can delete them, and then you won't have them anymore. How's that sound? You're more likely to do that when you're angry, I think, than when you're in love. But yeah, it's this is the way it is, right? And your voice still echoes in my ear. Yeah, you still think you're gonna. Hey, it's been quite a while now since I had a wife or somebody staying with me, and I still wake up. How long's it been? Let's see. Oh, it's been over 10 years. And I still sometimes, this is so bad. I still sometimes wake up and think that they're there somehow. I actually have two dogs that sleep with me, so I mean, maybe that's part of the explanation that there is a warm presence near me. But it wasn't that long ago. It's from doing these songs too, all these lyrics. It brings back all this stuff, right? So it wasn't that long ago. I could have swore that there was somebody in my bed that, one of my exes. And I was feeling around trying to find her. Okay? Isn't that stupid? Now, I wasn't sad. I wasn't anything. I was confused. I even had a dream about it. Probably where it came from. I even had a dream about her showing up and wanting to spend the night and just have some time together. And so that's why I woke up and I was sure she was there somewhere, but she was not there. Okay, So empty of your scent, and wherever I want, your place remain. Your heart is still the same. Yeah. All the photos. I smile at the photos when you're not here. Your voice still echoes in my ear. Okay, let's move on. I smile at the photos when you're not here. So yeah, the poems I wrote for you lie open. You know, I write poems. Did you know that? Still waiting for the day you return, my love. I have not written a poem about my exes. I don't think. I know I haven't, of the most recent ex, I haven't written any poems. But I did when she was around. I did before when I was courting her, but not since. I don't know why. Maybe I should. Maybe it would be cathartic. There's a fancy word, right? Okay, Steve, quit talking. I want to hear the music. Me too. Let's go listen.
Asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago. Say nothing loud, just point to wind and let the silence grow.
So, yeah, there's Angelina's beautiful voice. I didn't want to interrupt that long, carrying that grow word out. If someone asks about the girl who sang your name so long ago, say nothing loud. Just point to wind and let the silence grow. I take that as meaning don't get angry, don't get mad, don't badmouth the person. None of that kind of jazz. Point to the wind, which means to me is just a symbolic gesture that, things move on, life changes. There's the wind blows things away. We just had fall here and all the leaves fell off the trees and I don't know where they went, but they're not in my yard anymore. So the wind blows them away. I don't know where they go. And let the silence grow. You basically just got to deal with it, get over it, let it get to a point where you can let go of it and then let it go, right? Let the silence grow. Because, sooner or later, you'll fill that silence with some other person or noise or sounds. Maybe that's a better word. I'm thinking maybe I filled my void with Angelina Jordan music. I don't know. I'm almost positive of that, actually. Angelina, it's not uncommon to hear people comment that Angelina has saved their life. That's, I believe, is very true. Maybe not saved my life, but what it did was I was becoming, philosophical and contemplative of things after my last separation, divorce, and all that. And recognizing the fact that I'm getting older, I'm less marketable than I used to be in a lot of ways. But it, I've told this story before. I'll tell it again really briefly here. But I had lost a lot of faith in humanity, which is something I always had, and I thought I had in probably more abundance than a lot of people had. I want to trust people. I want to do business on a handshake. I believe that is the way to do things. Not all the stuff we have nowadays with paperwork coming up, or piling up on the desk and all that kind of stuff. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And I want to believe that you're going to do it. And I want to know that you're going to do it and have confidence in the fact that you're going to do it. And I had kind of lost my faith in humanity. And I actually was thinking about, I've been writing a book for 5 years now. Hopefully I can finish it this winter. And that book has brought me into a lot of research that I hadn't done before and some other things. And I just, I had come to a point where I thought, well, maybe humanity in general is at a turning point where we could be crossing the Rubicon in some way. That when species go extinct, they have gone past their ability to procreate and survive whatever may come. before that, they were fine. I mean, dinosaurs were around, I guess, for millions of years, right? And some of them changed, and if you believe in an evolution, they evolved. Some didn't. And then eventually, I guess that meteor came down to Chicxulub Peninsula there, Chicxulub, something like that. That's the common theory is that caused the demise of the dinosaurs, not of their own doing, but because of the natural disaster. But we've seen species come and go in our time too. In our lifetime, we've seen several species come and go, maybe more than several, and they just can't adapt to their surroundings soon enough to make the difference between the species moving ahead and the species going extinct. There comes a point where you can't turn it around. There's not enough, what do you call it, genetic diversity, I guess. So, I had come to the point where I thought, I think maybe the human race might possibly be past the Rubicon and on the road to extinction. Maybe. I don't know. This is just me talking, okay? I'm not a scientist. I'm a carpenter. But I did a lot of research and things like that, and I thought, well, that's a possibility. So then one day, sitting on the couch, I'm looking for something to watch on YouTube, and I got the TV clicker in my hand, and I'm scanning like everybody else does, and up pops this little girl in a white dress and no shoes, and it said something about I put a spell on you, and Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Well, I was familiar with the Screamin' Jay Hawkins version of the song. He actually wrote it, so it was his song, and I said, what's this little girl got to do with that? It's nothing to do with the little girl in a white dress, okay? Well, and I became apparent she was singing the song. I said, how can she sing that song? She can't sing that song, And I listened to it, and then my world changed. It really did. I went down the rabbit hole for, it was probably a month and a half, listening to everything I could find on Angelina. But the other thing that happened along the way is I started to realize that if there's a talent and a person like Angelina in this world, if there's one left, hopefully there's more, but if there's one left, I guess we're really not doomed. There's the proof right there that we need to survive. We need to be a vibrant species, because we have something to contribute. Maybe when I say we, I'm talking about Angelina and I and everybody else out there, all the angels. But maybe there's something all the angels have in common, that we have regained our faith in the fact that the human race is worth having around and is a valuable contributor to the universe in general. Now, Angelina's the one with all the talent, but that's what happened to me. I had lost faith in humanity. I no longer thought that I could trust people to do what they said they were going to do. And then I saw this little girl singing, I put a spell on you, and I said, no, humanity is still a good species. Look at us. Look what she can do. She touches my heart and my soul. She's got all that power and energy in that song that you'd ever want to see in any song. Never heard anybody sing that song like that. I was so touched. And I that hasn't changed. That was 9 years ago, and I still believe that she is the best singer I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I don't know. It's my choice, right? It's a preference. But anyway, so did she save my life? If I kept on the negative path, if I kept being on the dark side of things, would I still be here? I don't know. Nobody can say for sure. I have died twice, and I came back. I wonder why. I think I know why. But if it wasn't for Angelina, I'm not sure I would have made it that far. So let us go on. Boy, Steve, you talk a lot, don't you? Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and finish this one up.
You went like summer wind. Pages stopped beneath my hand, and on the line where love should be, you left no word, just my name.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, once again, now I don't have to keep belaboring the point. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Since you want like summer when the pages stop beneath my hand, that means, basically your life stops for a little while. And it could be because you missed the person so much, but it also could be because you're thinking about your life and things like that. What's next? On the line where love should be, you left no word, just my name. If you wonder what I'm doing looking off to the side all the time, I've got the lyrics blown up over here next to it so I can go back and refer to them. It's probably a little distracting for you guys. I apologize for that. But hey, I'm getting older and I can't remember things like I used to. So on the line where love should be, you left no word, just my name. So, that's one of the most hurtful things about when things go bad or they go south or somebody leaves is that closeness to somebody was very important to you, and then they walk away like it's nothing. Ouch! Ouch, that hurts. Okay? How come it means more to me than it does to you? Now, we don't know what the other person's feeling, but, the actions speak louder than words, right? You turn around. I know in some movies, there was a Kevin Costner movie, I think it was, where something going on with his ex-wife, whatever, and he was looking out the window and say, turn around, just one little look, turn around. Yep, and she did. I don't know if it was Kevin Costner or not, but, and she did turn around, so it's like, yep, okay, well, things are going to be okay. It might not have been Kevin Costner now that I think about it, but it was some movie, and, yeah, if somebody can just walk away and never turn around and look back, I'm only laughing because I don't want to be crying, okay? That is such a hurtful circumstance, but it's probably reality, right? I mean, if that's the destiny of the relationship, well then, you can wish, you can want, you can really hold out hope, but maybe you're better off just trying to forget about it and move on. Remember the good times, and your heart will and soul will remember the bad times for you. You don't have to think about it all the time. Okay, guys, that's it for that one. Oh, I talked too much. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.